The Oklahoma City Thunder genuinely have a chance to have A, the greatest record of all time, and B, the greatest defense of all time obviously within eras, because if you go back to the 80s where people were holding them to 90 points every game, that's not going to happen. But if you try and convert it to like them holding whatever their defense is, their defensive rating is 104, that maybe in the 2000s was like a 97 or something, whatever it is, like, and I don't even know if I'm looking at that right. I'm still struggling here with advanced stuff, but they are 16-1 through the first 17. They only lost one game, and it was to the Portland by 2. Like, they just dogged the Jazz last night, and it was close. It was close at halftime. The Thunder actually got smoked in the first quarter, 44-30. They bounced back in the second quarter, but then that third and fourth quarter, it was 77-44 in the second half. Like, there was just nothing they could do. The Jazz were up 18 with 3 minutes left in the first quarter, but I mean, Shea hasn't played in I don't even know how many fourth quarters this season. I genuinely do not know, and he's averaging 32 a game, which is third in the league in points, behind Tyrese Maxey and Luka, and he's only behind by like a point. I just and if we look at team stats, we got net rating for the Oklahoma City Thunder first with almost plus 16, offensive rating fourth, defensive rating first, true shooting percentage fifth, turnover percentage second, defensive rebound percentage fourth, steal percentage first, of course. Effective field goal percentage is their eighth. Like, they just blow teams out the water to where you look at their fourth quarter stats. The stats aren't even that great because, hey, they're putting in their bench unit for the whole fourth quarter. Like, their third quarter stats, other than two of these stats, which is assist percentage and offensive rebound percentage, they are top 10 in everything I just read. In the third quarters, net rating first, offensive rating third, defensive rating first, true shooting percentage second, effective field goal percentage fourth, turnover percentage eighth, rebound percentage fifth, defensive rebound percentage 10th, steal and block percentage first, free throw rating they're actually 19th, but still, like, they are just there's nothing they can do. And last night versus the Jazz, going back to that game, they shot 23 for 37 from three. That's over 62% from three. And I'm not sure how much the most threes made in a game is. Let's see. By a team. I know the Celtics almost did it opening night the other day. The Celtics and the Bucks, 29 in a game. 29 in a game. This team just hit 23, and I guarantee you, if I go to that October 22nd, 2024 game, 22nd, 2024, how many threes did the team get up? They got up, let me see it, please. They got up 61 threes and made 29. Now, granted, they made three more, and actually they shot almost 48% from three as a team. But, like, this team made six less and only shot 37 threes. And then what was that game for the Bucks? December 29th, 2020 versus the Heat. They, right here. Let me see the stats. They shot 51 threes and they shot 57%. So, like, they made a few less threes while shooting about 15 to 20 less. Now, granted, the Thunder are not a three-point shooting team at all. Actually, let me see if I can find it. They're offensive, what is it? Oh no, that's defensive. I might not be able to see it here. I mean, their 3-point percentage is 35.8, which is 17th in the league. Which honestly, you look at that, it's not that horrible. Shooting, let me see. Wow, this app pivot fade, what you've seen me use before, is crazy. But yeah, like if you look at all the shots, they're somewhere between like 10 and 20 for all the 3-pointers attempted. I just don't know, bro. I really don't know. Like they're not even trying. The picture that I have as a thumbnail literally explains their season. Shay's just like, okay, I'll sit for the fourth quarter. And if there's a game where I might need to come back, I could check in for 4 minutes, do my thing, and then leave. Like, it's crazy what he's doing. And J Dub hasn't played a second of basketball this season. I believe Chet has also missed some games. Like they are just doing this straight up. Yeah, I mean he's averaging 32, 5, 6.5 on 33 minutes per game. He's not playing 37, 38 minutes a game. He's played every game this season. He's shooting 53% from the field, almost 90% from free throw. He's shooting 58% from twos, which is something that, again, never is going to go away because that's basically like how good Giannis is shooting from twos, and we know how dominant Giannis is on the block. He's shooting 40% from three. Two makes 5.5 attempts per game. He's getting a steal and a half, a block per game. He's under 2 turnovers per game. He's a plus 14 for his plus minus. He's drawing about 6.5 fouls per game. His assist to turnover ratio is 3.6. I mean, there's probably so many things that I can read here. Now they have only played against top 5 defense once this season. But so they actually have played a relatively easy schedule. They've played 7 games versus a bottom 5 defense. They've played 11 games versus the bottom 10 defense and 13 versus the bottom 15 defense. So they've only played 4, 6. They've only played 7 of their games. Or that's not how that works. They've only played 4 of their games versus a top 15 defense and 13 versus a bottom 15 defense. So they haven't gone against a ton of competition, if you would like to say, because, again, the bottom 5 defense in the league is Washington, Brooklyn, Sacramento, Utah, New Orleans. Maybe the 5 worst teams in the league right there. Like, not even just defensively. Maybe generally the 5 worst in the league. And then you also got the Clippers, who have been trash this year. The Pacers, who actually were probably in that bottom 5. Charlotte, who has had some upsides but hasn't been great. Portland, who I'm surprised is a bottom 10 defense. And Chicago, who, again, has had a very good start to the season, but, like, not a ton of competition when you look in there. And even the bottom 15, the other 5 teams is Milwaukee, has Giannis, but they're going through their own things. Memphis is just a wreck right now. Philly is getting back there. Lakers and Knicks. Like, they've yet to go. Like, again, they've only played 1 game versus top 5 defense, which is OKC, Detroit, Miami, Spurs, and Dallas. They just have so much to. Like, typically, we've said over the past, I don't even know how many seasons, for probably every champion since I was going to say the Bucks, the Nuggets, the Celtics. We've said, oh, those teams can maybe repeat. Oh, those teams, and they're Bucks, they could, whatever. They obviously end up trading Dame at some point, so they haven't been able to get a second one. The Nuggets have had their own little small issues, but we know that they've been in contention or a very good team for the last however many years. The Celtics went through some injuries in that last year, and then obviously they had to get rid of half their starting lineup and half their team last season. This team's not going anywhere. There is going to be a point where I don't know if it's this off season or the off season after, where they probably are going to lose Hartenstein and or Caruso. Um, Hartenstein and Caruso, but like if you're being honest, you got AJ Mitchell, who might be sixth man of the year right now. You got Casey Wallace, you got Isaiah Joe, you got Aaron Wiggins, you've got Lou Dort, you've got you're playing Brooks Barnheiser, and then you've got obviously Thomas Sorber, who's not, or Sorbet, however you say it, who will be here at some point. Obviously not this season, but like you're probably going to lose some of those older guys, but you just got to think these younger guys that have been here going to be so much better. They're going to be in that role, and then obviously they'll sign different vets at that time. They'll be able to fill those spots. But 16-1, I mean, this team has just been as close to flawless as you can. And yeah, they have had some close games. Obviously, their first 2 games of the season went to double OT, I'm pretty sure. But there's nothing you can do. And a lot of people have had the debate, and I saw this from numbers on the board. I've seen it on Twitter. I've seen it on whatever. Is Shea not playing in the fourth quarter hurting or helping an MVP case? And I guess I can understand why some people say it's hurting because, hey, he's not playing maybe another 8 minutes of basketball. But like, if your team is that good, wins matter. Your team record matters. And if this team has 70 wins, God forbid, if they get the record and they have 74 wins, Shea is the MVP, no matter if Jokic is putting up 32, 10, and 12. No matter if Giannis puts up 34, 15, and 7 and gets the Bucks to a top 4 or 5 seed. It's not going to matter because Shea should be the MVP if that happens. I mean, Curry got it unanimously when they broke the record. I'm not saying it's going to be unanimous. I don't think that is going to happen in the lifetime of us having Jokic, Luka, Wemby's, Giannis's, Shea's, Anthony Edwards, and Cade's and Tatum's that are coming up. Like, it's not. I don't think unanimous is really going to happen, especially while some of those guys are in there. But we might get as close to unanimous as we can if he gets that record. If OKC gets that record, bro. And back to back, I mean, they might not just be back to back. They might be three-peat. They might win, depending on how egos go and how health goes. They could win. I don't even know how many before they have to split this core up, and that could be over the next 8 years or 10 years. God forbid. I'm not saying they're about to win 4 or 5 in a row. But this team is going to be dangerous, bro. And the thing that people are talking about the most is that they have a Clippers pick and I don't know, but the Clippers pick is the more dangerous one because the Los Angeles Clippers are trash. They're terrible right now. Let's see. They are currently the 13th seed. They are 4-11. They are just they're a game and a half ahead of the Kings. So they could drop to 14, and they're only 2.5 games from the Pelicans. Now, granted, do I think they'll be 15th? Do I think they'll figure a little bit out at some point to maybe get into play-in and stuff? Sure, but if they don't, if Kawhi just says, hey, I can't play anymore for this season, they just lost Derek Jones for about 5 or 6 weeks. I mean, you're praying for health for Harden, Zubac, but they also lost Bradley Beal for the season. They got a disabled player exception. This team is it's a retirement home right now. Like, one bad thing, and then Chris Paul, one bad injury to James Harden, or one bad injury to another guard, Chris Paul might have to start playing again, and he hasn't played at all this season. Basically, he's averaging 2 and 3. He's played how many games? I mean, he went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row without playing. And when he has played, he's getting 2 points. He's getting 3. He had 6 here the other day. His season high for the Clippers in the regular season is 6 points. And God forbid if that team is bad and OKC swaps and they get a top God forbid top 3, but I'm just saying another top 5, top 8 pick that they get to develop. But God forbid if they get top 3. If they get top 3 and they get to add AJ, Darren, or Cam onto the team, we might be done. This team might legitimately be done. Now, granted, money will probably become a thing to point out for this team at some point because they paid J-Dub, they paid Chaz. Shea's on the biggest deal ever currently. Those guys like an AJ Mitchell probably want a bag if they keep playing like this, if they get 6 man of the year buzz or even win it. Cason Wallace, who is another guy that could be an all-defensive player, probably might want some money. So, I mean, not right now. They don't have to worry about really any of that right now. But it's crazy. Like, it's to the point where you watch the Thunder, and it's like, okay, I could probably watch somebody else because we know what is going to happen. Now, I'm not saying they're not going to lose any more in the season or have a competitive game because, again, this game last night was competitive up until the second half. But if teams are making it a half and they can't even make it out the third quarter without, God forbid, those games where it does get to the fourth quarter. If 90% of teams can't make it to out of the third quarter within 10 or 15, and say some teams do, okay, we've got it to an 8-point game going into the fourth quarter. That means Shea and Chet and all these guys are going to keep playing. And if they're as good and as tough as it's been to get to just the 8-point deficit, now I think when the more adrenaline's pumping, they know, okay, the game's on the line. We got to lock in. You're just, I don't know. Like, it's crazy to say they could have. I truly, truly believe this team has a chance defensively, like they have a chance to beat that Warriors record. And if they beat that Warriors record and win win the finals again, that is hands down the greatest team of all time. Hands down. Now, granted, we are a little far. There might be a thing where they lose 2 out of 4 games, or hey, they lose 3 out of 7 games. Sure. But as of right now, man, I don't know. There's nobody, like, if you were to tier rank teams, Thunder, skip a tier, maybe skip another tier, and then the Nuggets, the Pistons, whoever else is at the top of the conferences. They have so much room in between them. And now, granted, we will see as they start to play some better teams, because I don't know exactly what their upcoming schedule is, but I would assume that they are probably going to get in some other games. Let's see if I can see. So they play the Blazers Sunday tomorrow, which is the team that they lost to. Then they play the Wolves. They play the Suns. They play the Blazers again. They play the Warriors, then the Mavericks, the Jazz, the Clippers, the Timberwolves. So then they play the Spurs twice. They play the Sixers. So they're going to sprinkle in some games, but they don't. I wouldn't say it's very necessarily a super hard schedule. February looks like it might be a more difficult schedule, to where they play the Nuggets twice. They play a good defensive Magic team. They play the Rockets. They play the Lakers, the Bucks, the Cavs, the Pistons. So that they don't necessarily, it looks like, get a harder team or a hard schedule until later in the year. But I've had this argument with people, and I can't believe people don't understand this. The strength in schedules, like, it matters a little bit, but it does not matter. Every team plays the same team. Now, granted, an Eastern team is going to play a Western team. Less than 2 West teams play against each other, because you only see those West teams maybe 2 or 3 times a year. People in your division, you see 4 times a year, about. It's not exact, but about. You play the same team every time. Sure, some teams play it more, but like the Golden State Warriors, people are saying because they've had a hard schedule recently. That just means their schedule later is going to be easier. The Warriors have to play up against OKC. OKC doesn't have to play OKC because they are OKC. That's one of the top 5 defense teams. They're one of them. So they only have to play 4 top 5 defenses because they are one of them, and they obviously aren't about to play themselves. So, like, it matters, but it doesn't at the same time. You're all playing the same teams. It's not like Golden State or the Lakers are playing the Spurs and OKC 8 times each. They're playing them maybe 3 times. And hey, the Cavs, okay, they're only going to play them twice, but that's also because they're going to play the Pistons 4 times. They're going to play the Knicks maybe 4 times. They're going to, it's very close. But the Thunder, this has been longer than I want, but the Thunder are on a crazy track right now. Shea is probably my MVP as of right now. I don't really know. Shams just put out Chris Paul is officially retiring after this season. So shout out to Chris Paul. I think we all kind of assume that. But, I mean, Jokic is averaging 29, 13, and 11, 2 steals and a block almost. And the Nuggets are 12 and 3. So it's very close between those guys. But I have to give it to Shea. I have to give it to Shea as of right now.